Cool FM Live with Todd Ryan on location with another Community Spotlight brought to you by Ed Morse Automotive Group of Sierra Vista. You're seeing the King's Courts, former King's Courts location here, the building coming down this week. We're off of Busby here, right behind Sierra Cycles, and I'm with one of the owners, one of the partners that owns this property here. And joining me right now is Stuart Teather. Stuart, tell us a little bit about Supreme Courts. That's the name of the company, right?
The Supreme Court, yes.
Yeah, the Supreme Court. Where are you guys from? Tell us a little bit about your company.
So we're a tennis organization operating out of Toronto, mostly, in the greater Toronto area. We manage tennis facilities and have our own. And we've been doing that since probably 2012. And during the pandemic, made a move to come to Sierra Vista to buy the old King's Court.
And you came in a time during the pandemic, great timing, by the way, and you again got a loan for this, which the city financed, because the city had the property for a number of years, from 2013 until 2021. So the city was looking for a buyer for this property. You came down, obviously surveyed the area, and had a vision for this property. And so we want to let folks know that you are indeed the owner of this property.
That's correct, yes.
And it's being financed with the help of the city, but you're paying your bill, your payment each month, and you're all caught up on the taxes and everything.
So the not the lease, but the mortgage for the property was arranged through the city, but it's exclusively between us and the mortgage company. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's a good clarification then. Okay, so technically the city is out of it at this point.
Yeah, we're still in contact with them about certain things, but absolutely the payments are directly with the finance company.
All right, and all your taxes are paid up. Everything's all good,
Yes.
Good standing here. Now, of course, the building here, as we can see here, you're working with the city now to tear down the building because it had become a hazard, to say the least.
Yes.
Talk about this process and how that came about.
So the quotation and the work that needed to be done in order for us to find a company to do this was done through the help of the city, but we're directly with them in terms of payment and so on for it. Yeah, it was a bit of a process. Certainly when we bought the property, it wasn't labeled as being something that needed to be taken down, but over time and through a number of mishaps in terms of us not being able to be here, we had visa problems during the pandemic, and then when we came back, there was some homeless people that had moved in and caused some damage. We came back and tried to rectify that, but it was made worse afterwards by various people and some homeless people that were in there, to the point where it became a hazard to the community and it had to be labeled as such, and we had to take it down.
So you've actually, while you were waiting here for the interview, you actually had some people drive up and wanted to see where they used to hang out.
Yes.
You actually talked to a few people, right?
Yeah, I've been talking to. So I've been in town since Tuesday of last week, and I've probably talked to 30, 40 people who have great memories of what used to be here. Most of it centered around the restaurant and bar, which is currently looking pretty poor. The tennis club was the reason to come, but the bar and the restaurant was the reason to stay. And it really was, from what I've heard, a good spot for community, and good spot for people to meet up and really form some long-lasting memories.
Well, Stuart, talk about the future now. What is the plan once they're done with the demolition of this building here? What is your company's plan for this spot moving forward, and your hopes for the future?
Yeah, so the demolition will take out the restaurant and the entire complex that you sort of see there. There's a pool in the back which you can't see, which people would know about. That's also going as part of this. Barbecue pit, hopefully that's going as well. So we should be pretty much flat and ready for the next wave of what will be. We will be a tennis club. The tennis courts here are going to get redone. And then what we do, there'll be 6 of those. What we do the other side is somewhat unknown. We expect that pickleball will be a good portion of it. But we have 12 courts here, and so we have lots of room. There's room at the back, and so we would like this place to be a community hub once again. And if there's a big demand for other sports and there's other recreational activities that are underserved in the area that we could help provide for the community, we'd be happy to do that. We do want this to be a place where people form good memories again.
And how soon do you think you'll be underway with the next phase once all this is taken down and the debris taken away? What does your timelines look like at this point, or is it too early to say?
To be specific on it, it would be too early to say.
Yeah.
But we do have plans, and so once this is down, we'll be sealing up the property with fencing across the front, and sealing some holes that are in the back. And then we are planning on coming back, and there's some new technology out there which will allow us, and at least we hope, to be able to resurface the courts so they won't crack, and that some of the problems that we currently have with them won't rematerialize. If that works, then we will redo all of the courts on this side and get a clubhouse in here and open up. And then what happens to the other side is between now and then that we start anticipating and looking into what makes sense for the community, but also makes fiscal sense for us.
So you're still open to some ideas from the community members here at Sierra Vista, and with suggestions too as well.
Yeah, if people have an idea of what this place could be, then certainly we would be foolish to ignore what that is. I mean, of course, it has to be viable from a usage point of view, and economically, it would certainly be helpful for us if it was. But yeah, there's no shortage of ideas within the community from what I've heard over the last couple of weeks, and we have hopefully good ideas of our own, and we're happy to explore those together with people.
Do you hope to get underway with some construction and resurfacing by the end of the year? Is that the goal?
Well, we expected that the one court at least will be done probably this spring.
And then you're hoping that once the one court is done, as you test it out to make sure that it doesn't crack again, and if it surfaces well and lasts,
yes,
then you'll start with the other courts.
That's the plan. We would look probably hopefully, fingers crossed, all knowing what we know now, which isn't 2020. Sometime in the fall, perhaps we'd be looking to resurface the courts, and then from there, putting in some sort of structure that would make some sense. We do continually have the support of the city to make things happen pretty quickly. And we're very appreciative of that. And so, yeah, once we know what our timeline's in, we'll be happy to share with your listeners and with the community at large.
All right. Now, as far as the clubhouse goes, obviously there was a restaurant and a bar in here at one time serving food and whatnot. That probably isn't going to happen to start off right away, is it? I mean, is that something that is in your hopes down the road, or?
So we can't build it all at once.
Yeah.
And I think it's infeasible for us to think that somebody would want to set up a restaurant here and run it if there's no traffic.
Right.
So we have to build the traffic first, but certainly will be amenities for people who become our members or are using the facility. And then as that grows, we do see the need for a restaurant. We do see the need and the desire to have a bar, a community place where people can gather. And I don't know why that wouldn't happen, knowing what we know now. But it's all dependent, of course, a little bit on the response from the community and how interested they are in coming and being part of this.
All right, Stuart Teather with the Supreme Courts, right?
Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court, and you guys are located in Toronto, right?
Yes, that's right.
And you already have successful operations in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the experience. It's just a matter now of making things work here for Sierra Vista.
Yeah, we're looking to hire local, but we might bring in somebody that's got extensive tennis knowledge and viewing the way that we instruct in Toronto to start with, at least. We've been fortunate enough to have some national champions come through our academies and so on there, and so we have a way that we like to think of developing tennis players.
So you see yourself as actually teaching and having tennis instructors as well?
Oh yeah, we would like to have tennis instructors for sure. We would like to partner with schools. We'd like to any kind of groups that are interested in coming by. But a good tennis club has a good pro, has a good junior program, has a good activities for adults, leagues, all these kinds of things that come with a good tennis facility are things that we envisioned for Sierra Vista.
All right. Well, the one big thing, as we talked about before we went on camera, you wanted to let everybody know you are committed to Sierra Vista.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. We didn't get off to the start that we had hoped, but there was an opportunity for us to abandon this project, but that's not the feeling we get from the community, and that's not the feeling we have towards the community. We want to be here, and we want to be successful with the community. So if that can happen, then we're all in.
All right. Well, hey, Stuart, thanks for taking the time to join us, and we'll look forward to keeping in touch with you and doing updates on the progress of the King's Courts here. Are you going to rename it, or do you have a name for it yet? Or
no, I don't think we do. It might be something. It could be King's Courts by the Supreme Court. It could be the Supreme Court Sierra Vista. It could be the Sierra Vista Tennis Club. It could be the Sierra Vista community. I don't know. So no. The answer is no, but I keep talking.
Well, and maybe we can make a post, or maybe some people can give some suggestions for a name, and or make a separate post on it, because there's a lot of people who maybe could come up with some good suggestions for you, and take a vote on some names. You never know. I mean, I
wouldn't want to disappoint people on any kind of contest that might go on, but I'd be really interested in seeing the results of that. That we're not the only ones out here with ideas. The community has ideas, and we'd love to hear from the community.
All right, well, we'll keep folks posted, and Stuart, you'll keep in touch with us for the next update here throughout the year on Cool FM Live, so we can let folks know that you are going to be making progress, and something will be happening here very soon, and hopefully open to the public before too long down the road. But it is a process.
It can't happen soon enough from our side of things. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stuart. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks so much, Todd. Yeah.